A major housing development proposed for an East Ottawa suburb with one big catch. There's no parking for residents. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Katie Griffin. Stefan is away. A major high-rise development has been proposed for Orléans, but it's not the size of the project that has people talking. It's the lack of parking spaces. CTV's Peter Sperling is here to explain. Peter.
Katie, multiple high-rises, 1,500 units, and 0 dedicated parking spots for residents. Just 136 spaces for visitors. There is a proposal to build a 5-building development here, which could include 30, 35, and 40-story tall buildings. In total, there would be 1,500 residential units, but only 136 parking spaces. According to the proposal summary submitted to the city by the developer, parking is not required given the proximity to future transit.
I think it's unreasonable. I don't think that you can guarantee that 1,500 units, all these people won't have any cars.
Not everyone wants a car, not everyone can afford a car, and not everyone can drive a car. So I'm really, really happy and really support to see an opportunity to give options to people.
The development would be near the future O-Train East Extension, but there's still no opening date. Now, Katie, this plan would need approval from City Council, and if built, would be years away.
All right, we'll be watching. Thank you, Peter. Well, ByWard Market revitalization plan is moving closer to reality after a city committee approved the initial proposal, but there are questions around the removal of a popular parking garage is the right choice. CTV's Tyler Fleming is here with more. Tyler.
Yeah, Katie, that aging garage only has 2 years of life left in it, but many want to see it stay. Part of the city's $200 million plan would see the old Clarence St parking garage transformed into a new arts and cultural hub. The city says underground parking is possible, but it would add roughly $50 million and replace only about 60% of the existing 290 spaces. Many residents and businesses say parking remains a critical component to redevelopment.
There's not enough parking on the market. Whether there's transit available or not, we still need parking spaces.
It's very important to have parking for this area, for the businesses, for the restaurants. People, I know it's going to be a new venue for music too. People need to park somewhere.
If it's within budget and we're able to, then why not put it under there? Because we're still getting the above ground needs for the power, for the merchants and art gallery. So that's still for residents and visitors above, and we're just making it a little bit easier for those people who maybe can't, take active transportation or can't use the LRT.
For now, in order to boost parking availability, the city is limiting the parking in the garage from full day to a 3-hour pay and display system. Now, city staff will return with a full scope plan in 2027. Then, if city council approves, you could see shovels in the ground shortly after. Katie.
CTV's Tyler Fleming reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Tyler. A driver was lucky to escape unharmed after a load of wood went through a trailer and into the back of his truck cab on Highway 417 earlier today. It happened in the westbound lanes at Pinecrest. Lane reductions were in place and created a massive backlog for hours as it was cleared away. Police say the driver came to a sudden stop because of construction. The driver was handed a $390 fine for having an insecure load. We have breaking news now. The Rideau Canal skateway will close for the season tomorrow night. The NCC making the announcement a short time ago. It will close at 10 p.m. tomorrow, so there will be one more day of skating. This season will be 56 days long, 4 more days than last season. The canal opened December 31st. The NCC says it has received more than 1 million visitors since then. Algonquin College's Board of Governors has voted to suspend 30 programs as the college tries to cope with the financial crisis largely caused by plummeting international student enrollment. Some of the programs cut include journalism, hospitality, business development and sales, manufacturing, engineering technician, music, media and film foundations, paralegal, along with 2 horticulture programs. Some of the impacted programs will still be offered at other Algonquin College campuses. Students currently enrolled will still be able to complete their studies, but no new students will be admitted to the impacted programs starting in the fall. The vote was delayed after the Ontario government announced billions in funding and a tuition freeze. But still, Algonquin says that was not enough to secure long-term stability. Last year, the college cut 37 academic programs. It also put its Perth campus up for sale. The owner of a downtown parking garage that partially collapsed last year plans to reopen it. Last February, a section of the garage at 170 Slater Street collapsed, sending slabs of concrete, piles of snow, and other debris down multiple levels to the ground. About 50 vehicles were stuck inside the parking garage for weeks. The owner says restructuring work is set to begin in the near future. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation, but city officials have said the snowbanks on the top level were without a doubt a contributing factor. 2 Canadians have been killed in a bus crash in the Dominican Republic. Local authorities say the incident involves Sunwing vacation guests. It happened Sunday near the coastal community of Cumayasa, which is roughly an hour's drive from Punta Cana. The bus, operated by a third-party provider called Nexus Tours, was carrying guests to their hotels. In addition to the 2 people who were killed, 19 others were injured. The city's Auditor General is reminding residents there is a hotline you can use to snitch on city employees. The Fraud and Waste Hotline is a confidential and anonymous tool that is available to residents as well as city employees to report any allegations of fraud or serious wrongdoing. The Auditor General says they receive more than 300 tips every year.
A great example of how successful it is about a year ago, we actually reported on what appeared to be a kickback scheme between a group of landlords and a city employee. And this particular situation was actually impacting the most vulnerable population of the city. So it did exactly what it was intended to do. We had allegations brought to our attention, we investigated them, and we reported on the matter as timely as possible.
The awareness campaign comes ahead of the 2025 report on the Fraud and Waste Hotline, which will be presented at an audit committee meeting on March 31st.
I would like to stop switching. Stop switching. Just keep it, leave it alone.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, BC set to do away with changing the clocks after daylight saving time begins this weekend. We look at whether Ontario should do the same. And our Jackie Perez is live tonight out at Little Victories. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Katie. After the very brief cold front that we did receive, we are in now what is starting to trend to the warmer temperatures. And again, by the end of this week, we are likely going to see double-digit temperatures on the plus side. So taking a look at the satellite radar, we are just above a weather system of freezing rain and flurries that is moving and focused more across the New York State. Temperature-wise, things are much milder than even this morning, where we are around the freezing mark here in Ottawa, 1 degree in Kingston. There is a chance that they could see some freezing rain and snow right now. Brockville, 3 degrees. Temperatures hovering around -1 in Gatineau. And overnight lows still sticking in the mild temperatures. -6 for the overnight. Few clouds in. We've got those southerly winds moving through. Tomorrow, the daytime high will be 4 degrees. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. But for now, we'll take it back to you in studio. Katie.
Thanks, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. If you don't have plans Friday night, why not snowshoe under the stars? Friends of Gatineau Park hosting the event at 7 o'clock every Friday night until the end of the month. The cost is $20, and that includes a trail pass, hot chocolate, and cookies. You can register on the NCC's website. Having a live check on traffic this hour, heavy on the 417 westbound through the Churchill area. Otherwise, it is moving fairly well and typical for this time of day. There's been mixed reaction after BC announced it will no longer set clocks forward in the spring and back in the fall. In Ontario, daylight saving time begins this weekend, and while some take the change in stride, not everyone is on board.
A lot of people are already sleep deprived, so this kind of worsens that. But also the fact that we're getting more light in the evening, it actually suppresses our sleeping hormones that kind of rise before bedtime.
No, I absolutely hate it. I don't understand why we have to do that. And it just, everyone's system gets out of whack.
I would like to stop switching. Stop switching. Just keep it, leave it alone.
BC's premier says its new time zone will be called Pacific. time. And that brings us to our radio question of the day. Should Ontario stop the seasonal time change?
I think Ontario should absolutely end the time change. We hear endless arguments about why it would be a good idea to end it, but it's been going on for many, many dozens of years, post-farming industry, before there were headlights on tractors, and I just don't hear any arguments at all against it. It's an annoyance, it's frustrating, and we keep doing it for seemingly no reason whatsoever.
So we know how Jeff feels. Have you been hearing a lot of that today?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
100% of our listeners were on board with picking a new time and then just sticking to it and stop this flip-flopping all the time. You know, this happens every single year. You know, we have this debate eternally over and over, and I'm with them. But the question is, which time do you pick?
Yes.
BC is going with daylight saving time, which is great for people like me. I mean, I'm on air till 6 p.m., so I love an extra hour of daylight. I think that the daylight saving time is better for lifestyle. But we hear over and over from the experts that standard time is probably the better choice for your circadian rhythm and also for your human biology.
And I was also researching a bit of this last night when they came out with that announcement. And one of the things that I would find difficult is they said at one point for one of the days, the sun would not rise until after 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
That would be hard.
Yeah, and that's particularly challenging, I think, in Ottawa. You know, Vancouver is great, but it's really mild. And so in the winter, maybe they get a lot of rain, 9 a.m., dreary and cold. But imagine a dreadful, cold Ottawa morning, and the sun doesn't come up until 9 a.m. potentially.
I know.
It's a bit late. I think it's a bit depressing and hard to get out of bed. I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Yes.
Maybe I'm aggressively ambivalent about this and we just keep going the way it is. But it seems like our listeners were ready to make the change, and BC now is leading the way, not waiting for the U.S., just forging ahead.
However you feel, don't forget to spring forward this weekend.
Don't forget.
Don't forget. You can join the conversation. Leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 till 6. And you can now watch Christy's segment anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel.
This is Route 6. It's one of the city's busiest routes, but it's also one of the city's most unpredictable routes.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, our worst commute series continues tonight. We're looking at Route 6, one of the busiest and for some, the most exasperating bus route in the city. Here's what you need to know. Celebrate Holi at Walter Baker Park this weekend. There will be music, dancing, and lots of colors to mark the traditional Indian festival. It's taking place from 12 until 2 on Saturday. Kids under 5 are free. Another live check on the roads this hour. Traffic seeming to move well through the Nicholas area on the 417, but there is some heavy buildup westbound through Churchill. We're back right after this. Here's what's coming up tonight on CTV after the news. It's Best Medicine on at 7, followed by Will Trent, High Potential on at 9, and then RJ Decker is on at 10 o'clock. Another check on the forecast. Jackie live tonight on Elgin Street at Little Victories. Jackie?
Well, thanks so much, Katie. Spring-like temperatures are on the way, but with this, if you are looking at your weather forecast, rain is also on the way by the end of the week. We'll have those details in just a bit, but here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where we're showcasing Alexandra Bridge and Kaweki Point. Lots of daylight out for this Tuesday. The temperature is sitting around the freezing mark, but again, with that wind chill, still feeling like -3. So if you are out and about, you still want to bundle up, have your gloves and your scarf to keep you nice and cozy on this Tuesday evening. Now, clear skies for here in Ottawa, and we are going to carry this into this evening. Mainly cloudy, a little bit of clouds rolling in, -2 around 9 p.m. Around midnight, it's going to be -5, but it will feel closer to -10. Tomorrow morning, -4 is what we're going to start off with, feeling like -8 with a wind chill, but then we're going to hit about 3 degrees by the time the afternoon rolls around. We've got westerly winds moving in around the noon hour, but for the most part, fairly calm winds with a mix of sun and cloud to kick off our Wednesday. Now in the Seaway, -4 overnight tomorrow, about 4 degrees for the daytime high with the mix of sun and cloud. Very similar for the valley as well. -9 the overnight low, but the daytime high for our Wednesday is 3 degrees. Here's a closer look at the conditions. When we move into Wednesday, you'll get spots of sunshine moving in, but then the clouds are going to continue for Wednesday into the evening. Thursday, also anticipating another dry, mild weather-like day. And when we look at those temperatures, well, Thursday, 3 degrees is the daytime high, and then Friday, 5 degrees, Saturday 9 degrees, but keep in mind Friday we'll start to see precipitation rolling in throughout the day, so there is a slim chance we could see the rainfall, but Saturday likely showers. So if there are outdoor events including the St. Patrick's Day parade, keep an eye out because it could be a rainy one. So we are keeping a close eye on this, and a reminder again that Saturday into Sunday to change those clocks forward because it is going to be the daytime savings as we spring forward.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree, complete tree care from start to stump.
The Ottawa Home and Garden Show presented by RE/MAX is happening March 17th to the 22nd at the EY Centre, and we want you to find everything you need to tackle your home and garden projects. We're giving you a chance to win tickets to the show, plus one lucky viewer will win the grand prize, a $2,500 gift card and VIP seating. Enter for your chance to win on our contest page at ctvottawa.ca. Wishing you the best of luck. And again, Katie, we are here, that's right, at Little Victories Coffee Roasters on Elgin Street because the company, the local company, has been named part of the best 100 coffee spots in the world. We will have these details and maybe do a little couple tests during the 6 o'clock hour. We'll take it back to you.
Yes, a huge accomplishment for them. Looking forward to that. Thank you, Jackie. Here's a look at some of the stories you're checking out right now on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have that major backup on the 417 from earlier today. A driver's now been fined after a load of wood crashed through his truck cab. Also, new to the Rideau Centre, Abercrombie & Fitch is going to be moving into the old Eddie Bauer location. That's near the food court. And of course, we're continuing our special series on Ottawa's worst commute. We have a dedicated page for all of that and a place where you can also weigh in yourselves. A whole lot of good news for bagel fans. A popular Ottawa company set to expand in Eastern Ontario and beyond. Here's what you need to know. The Ottawa Gatineau Golf Expo is back. It's happening at the EY Centre by the airport this Friday and Saturday. It features local courses, live auctions, the Canadian Performance Fitting Centre demo range, a $10,000 putting contest too. Tickets are available online. If you need to fill up tonight, the cheapest gas can be found at the Petro Canada on Hunt Club Road. Regular gas there tonight going for $1.30.5 a liter. Having a live check on the drive home, it is heavy on the 417 East in the Riverside area. Heavy spots also if you're heading westbound through Churchill Woodruff, but other areas are moving well for this time of day. There's that backup on Churchill. We're back right after this.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is a very mild 0 degrees out there. Time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here is Patricia Bowl.
Thanks, Katie. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
They're still lobbing some missiles. At some point, they won't even be able to do that because we're hitting all of their carriers. We're hitting all of their missile stock.
The death toll rises as the war in Iran continues to escalate with no signs of easing up. This as Canadians are urged to avoid travel to 10 countries as the conflict in the Middle East spreads.
They are equipped well for this environment.
A NATO mission in Iceland is giving Canadians a look at what could one day be the shape of its fleet of fighter jets. CTV News invited by the Swedish Air Force to see the jets in action. And the 100-day countdown is officially on to the start of the World Cup. Organizers in both Canadian host cities say they are finalizing preparations for the event. Toronto will host 6 games, starting with Canada's first match on June 12th. Vancouver will host 7. Very exciting, all of that and more coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Katie.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other local stories we're following. Our Worst Commute series continues with Leah, Larocque, and a bus route that's become synonymous with cancellations.
This is Route 6. It's one of the city's busiest routes, but it's also one of the city's most unpredictable routes. There's a lot of delays, a lot of cancellations, and commuters say it can make for a very tricky commute. Tonight at 6, I tell you what I learned from riding the number 6 during a morning and afternoon rush hour, some of the challenges that commuters say, and what the city has to say about it.
Kettleman's Bagel is expanding. The Ottawa-based company opening 5 new locations in Ontario, including Kingston, Barrie, and downtown Toronto. Right now, there are 8 Kettleman's locations, including on Bank Street in the Glebe and at train yards. Ottawa Tourism is launching a new fund to help grow the city's nightlife. Applications open today. The fund will provide money to groups and organizations that need help getting an event or project off the ground. Ottawa Tourism says the program is designed to support initiatives that are sustainable, recurring, or make a momentous impact on conversations about Ottawa.
Working his way back in. The centering pass scores. Dylan Cousins.
The Ottawa Senators' road trip continues tonight, coming off a 5-2 victory over the Leafs on Saturday night. The Sens are in Edmonton to take on the Oilers this evening. Puck drop is at 9 p.m. Early risers were able to see the only total lunar eclipse of the year this morning. The eclipse, also known as a blood moon, was visible in the sky around 6 a.m. The moon appears red when the Earth passes between the sun and moon and casts a large shadow on the moon. The next total lunar eclipse is expected to occur in late 2028. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Katie Griffin. Be sure to join Patricia Bowl for CTV News at 6. The early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo starts right now.